Hubie mentioned tonight that he thought fall was here. And I'll have to agree that fall is here. And what is one of the things that comes along with fall? The leaves turning. I can always tell when you look along the river and the cottonwoods and the brush, they start turning yellow and red. And think, yep, fall's coming. The leaves are going to be falling pretty quick. And what comes with that? The shortening of days. Paul and Jill always have this big celebrations. Jill celebrates the 21st of June because that's the 21st of December. Or 21st of December, because then everything starts getting longer. And Paul celebrates the opposite. And he always likes to rub it in, hey, the days, they're getting shorter. But as we all know, we can probably get something out of anything that we look at in nature. We can come up with something that God has to tell us. And just like the leaves, as they turn and they start falling, how much is that like our life? Summer is over. That means fall is here. And how many times do we, in our summer of life, think that it'll never end? It's just going to go on. It's just great. And then fall comes. And then we realize that how short life is. In Isaiah 64, verses 5 through 7. This is basically talking about Judah when they were under Babylon. Starting in verse 5. And come to the help of those who gladly do right, who remembered your ways. But when we continue to sin against them, you were angry. How then can we be saved? All of us have become like one who is unclean, and all our righteous acts are like filthy rags. We all shrivel up like a leaf, and like the wind our sin sweeps us away. No one calls on your name or strives to lay hold of you, for you have hidden your face from us and made us waste away because of our sin. As it says there, we all shrivel up like a leaf. Leaves shrivel. They change color, they shrivel, they fall off the tree. The wind blows them. They're gone. It's the fall of 24. And it's never coming back, is it? We can't go back. It only goes forward. The shortness of our days, it's always reminded of James 4, where it talks about how our life is. James 4, 13 and 14. And I know this you never think of when you're in your 20s. But I think of it pretty fast now. It comes to mind very promptly. Because it says, now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to do this or that. We'll go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money. Why do you not even know what will happen tomorrow? What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. Life is a mist. And I'm reminded of it many mornings in the fall when you look towards the river on these cool mornings. That mist, that fog is laying there. And you see it, and you turn your back, and you look again, and it's gone. And I think, how is that compared to our life? When you're 20, it seems like life goes on forever. It's just like, I want to get older. I want to be older. And then when you reach my age, or fortunate enough to reach James's age or Hubie's age, it goes pretty fast then, doesn't it? Way faster than you ever thought it would. What are we doing with this short time? We've had a summer. What have we done with it? In our lives, the leaves are starting to turn in every one of us. And when we look back, what have we done? Have we done something productive for the Lord? Or have we just put our time in? It talks about how in Psalms 103, how the grass withers. Psalms 103, 15 and 16. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it, and it is gone. And its place remembers it no more. Boy, how true that is, isn't it? Our life is just a moment. And in God's eyes, it is, isn't it? Because God doesn't have any time. He doesn't know what time is. And we are just a moment in His plan. But yet, He has given each one of us that's here many years, hasn't He? What are we doing with those? Are we productive? Are we going out? I look at the fact that how many people I know that are not Christians, that are not saved. They don't have Christ in their life. They've never put Him on. And I think their leaves are turning too. Their leaves are going to fall. And there'll be a time where night will be upon them. And as we said, the days are getting shorter. The night is coming. Jesus said in John 6? John 9:4. He was basically talking about what was going to be happening to Him. But it says, as long as it is day, we must do the work of Him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. I think He was thinking about what was coming up for Him. Because once He was hung upon that cross, His work was done, wasn't it, on earth? He couldn't do no more. Once we're gone from this earth, we can't do any more. We only have now, as Paul has always said, today. We have today. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us may be here tomorrow. But we do have today. I think too many times we think to ourselves that we have tomorrow, that we can put this off, that we don't really need to worry too much. But I think we do need to, a bit, because if each one of us knows someone that is not going to make it, whose responsibility is it to make sure they know the truth, to make sure they have an opportunity to have the gospel presented to them. It's our responsibility. I know we send out house to house to a lot of people in this area. I know we had the folks from Florida here with Josh, Kara, knock doors, put out pamphlets, all of that stuff, trying to reach people. And I think it's been beneficial. We haven't had a huge influx of people, but I think we've had a lot more contacts than what we realize. But what do we do with them? I think that's the important part to remember. What do we do with those contacts? Do we just file them away in the 3x5 card file and say, we'll get to them one of these days? Or, well, maybe somebody else should handle that. That's not really my area. But really, isn't it? When it tells us in Matthew 28 to go into all the world, who's he talking to? Talking to us, isn't he? He was talking to his disciples, and who are we? His disciples. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to go into Africa, India, China. When it says go into all the world, outside this door is the world, isn't it? And we have to go into it every day. But is our main concern when we go out into that world to teach someone the gospel? To set the example of a Christian before them? To help them to understand what this word means? This word is not hard to understand, but I think too many people think it is. They think, ooh, the Bible, that's deep. That's deep. It's only as deep as you're going to make it. But the message here is very clear. We're not going to make it without Christ. We're not going to make it. Living faithfully is easier said than done. We can tout that, oh, I'm really doing my job here. I'm living faithfully, Lord. But it's easier said than done, isn't it? When we're in this world, there are so many things that will drag us down. As I've said many times before, Satan is out there like a roaring lion, seeking to what? Devour us, destroy us. That's what he wants to do. And if he can drag one of us down, man, he's accomplished a lot. As I've said before, he's got the world already. He's wanting to drag us down. And he doesn't want us to go out into that world and bring more to us, more to Christ. He doesn't want us to do that. So he'll put anything that he can in front of us to distract our minds, to distract what we're supposed to be doing. That can be work, friends, social media, it can be anything to get our minds off of what we truly need to be doing. And that is going out and spreading the word. The leaves are falling. And it's not going to be long. As Hubie mentioned tonight before his prayer, the things that are going on in this world, I don't know if World War III is coming or not. But I know one thing for sure. Christ is coming. It promises us that here. He is coming. And are we ready? Are we ready for him to come? At this moment, can we honestly say that I am 100% ready? I have no regrets. Because if we've got just a little inkling, we better get it right. We better get it right, because there's no turning back. There's no turning back and saying, oh, can I have a do-over? It says game over, but I can press reset, right? There is no reset button. There's no extra credits. It's done when he comes back. If there's anyone here tonight that needs to make a decision to follow Christ, to put him on in baptism, or if there's anyone that has a need that needs to be known, let that be known to us as we stand and sing.